Hello, everybody, and welcome. Coach Hadassah here, metaphysician, personal development coach, and wellness entrepreneur, and founding member of XtreamFX Global Academy, where Bitcoin and Forex collide. And today, we are talking about consistency. Consistency, being consistent. What is that all about? Are we consistent, right? How consistent are we? So I'm going to allow a, a little bit of time for viewers to come in, and let's see. There we go. Okay. He's doing some little things here. All right. Okay. Wonderful. So welcome everyone. You can feel free to go ahead and say hi, put some hi in the chat, some hearts, some fire. So well, you don't have to do the fire yet. But some hearts in the chat, some thumbs up, just to let me know that you're here. Okay. So look, here's the thing. Our we talk about consistency a lot, right? Consistency, being consistent, things like that. And I'm real big on words, wording, how we use them, because they're important. They're really important. There's power in words. There's also meaning behind them as well. So we need to know the meaning behind the things that we say, the meaning of words. So when we're talking about consistency, and my grandmother, she was one that always said, if you think you know something, look it up. Might look it up, because you just may not know. We may be saying certain things or phrases or words or whatever, and we have no idea the meaning behind them. So with consistency and talking about it, I decided, like, first of all, I go to the dictionary a lot. The dictionary, the etymology, all of that type of stuff. So when I did that, I found something to be very interesting. Number one, because hey, when I hear the word consistent or consistency, I'm thinking about showing up, right? Something that you do all the time, that you do regularly. This is what I'm thinking about, right? When you're consistent, how are you being consistent? What do you, all that? So when I looked up the word, here we go. Now, let's see, definition. And then I'll go to the etymology. So this is from the American Dictionary of the English Language, 1828. Trust me when I say anything, especially when it comes to the English language, words, things like that, you want to go back to the 1800s somewhere. If you if you could find anything from the 1800s, that's where you want to go. So this is from the again 1828 American Dictionary of the English Language, and the word consistency: fixed, firm, not fluid. Definition one. Definition two: standing together or in agreement, compatible, uniform, not contradictory or opposed, in harmony. The root word, of course, of consistent or consistency is consist, which is, again, to stand together or in agreement or harmony. Consistent or consistency, it's an adjective. And we know, or at least we should know, that an adjective names an attribute. So it's an attribute. So to be consistent or consistency it's an attribute that one has or one possesses. So when we ask that question, right, how consistent are you? It's more than just showing up. It's more than just something that we, do regularly. Um, like say if we're consistent in a message or messaging, right? If there's a certain message, now here's the thing about it. Let's say with language, because this is what we're dealing with, right? Language. So 10% of language is verbal or written. 90% of language is nonverbal, body language. Is our body language consistent or in harmony with our words? When you show up, is your body language, which is 90%, right? Is your body language consistent with your verbiage? Is your body language, your verbiage, or your message consistent with how you show up? If you show up. So when we talk about consistency, right? And it what being something that's it's fixed or firm. And then, because you know how I am about astrology, right? Now we have there are some astrology signs that are fixed signs. There's 4 of them. Fixed signs are Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. I kind of said them out of order, so to speak. So I'm going to say them in order. Taurus, and I'm saying that because that's a sign that it's spring in Taurus season, but that's the thing about it. A cardinal sign, which would be Aries, initiates spring, so it starts spring off. However, in the season of Taurus, like Taurus season, that means like it is spring, like it's fixed. Like now it's spring. We're not going back and forth between like winter days and and some spring days or anything like that. Those are more of the mutable signs, like Pisces. Pisces is a mutable sign. So in that season, it could kind of go back and forth between some winter type weather and some spring type weather. Whereas in Aries, it's initiating the spring season. It's like, okay, ready, set, go. We starting the spring season off, right? Aries can be known as the go-getter, right? It's like, look, we taking off, right? It's spring season. Run, go. Well, the season of Taurus, because it's a fixed sign, it's like, okay, now it is spring. It's spring. Fixed sign. So then you move to Leo. Leo, that's fixed summer. Another cardinal sign, which is an initiator, is Cancer. Cancer starts off the summer season, right? It initiates summer. But by the time you get to Leo season, it is summer, fixed summer, right? That next sign, Scorpio, is fixed autumn, like it is autumn or it is fall. Libra starts off the autumn or fall season, but in Scorpio, it is right. It is fall or it is autumn. And then you have Aquarius, which is fixed winter. Capricorn starts off the winter season, but Aquarius, it is winter, fixed winter. So those would be like the signs when you add the astrology piece to it, that is fixed. And those are the like firm attributes that would be for those particular signs, okay? Because of the consistency of what? The season, right? So I just wanted to kind of add that piece to that as well. But look, how do we show up? And here's the thing, when you think about it, everyone is consistent. Everyone really is consistent. However, right? It's like what are we doing consistently? How are we showing up consistently? And the results that we're getting when we do that, right? So if we're consistently sending mixed messages, they're consistent, but sending mixed messages because what? Our body language, our certain attributes are not in alignment with the verbiage, then we're consistently inconsistent with our own messaging, our body language, and our verbiage, right? It's not one. It's not in harmony. It's not in agreement, but it's consistently that way. You see what I'm saying? So then here's the thing, how do you get your verbiage to line up or be one in alignment with your body language? How do you bring that together? How do you make that one? This is the thing about being whole, right? That's the thing about being whole. Um, Bringing these things together where they're in agreement, being in agreement with yourself, within yourself, so that when you do show up, you have a consistent messaging. And that consistent messaging, it comes through in your energy. Really, it comes through in your energy. It comes through in your emotions, because that's really what emotions are. It's energy, E, in motion, E, motion. And then that energy permeates, it exudes outwardly, really from your heart. And our hearts, we have an electromagnetic, that electromagnetic field. And when our heart beats, you know, that's one thing it does. Like, yeah, it pumps the blood and all of that great stuff. But we have an energetic body as well. So it's the heart is very important, not just from that physiological standpoint where, you know, it's beating because it has to pump 12 pints of blood to circulate throughout our body, but there's an energy that's in our heart that if we have any type of blockages, or what I like to call a heart wall, that is blocking the that energy, or that electromagnetic energy, from really exuding outwardly in order to attract everything that is really in your heart to you, then like how far is that energy field going? But then not only that, if it is let's say it's exuding just a bit where it goes out some, but what is the energy behind it that's exuding, that's bringing or attracting, you know, certain things? I always go into the law of attraction 2.0, you know, where we know all about this, you know, ooh, the law of the beautiful euphoric part of the law of attraction, that talks about the, you know, you want things in your heart and you write it down and you create your vision board and you know, all of that great stuff. And it's wonderful. It's not that it doesn't work, because it does. But then there's another thing too, because if there's a, you know, with that electromagnetic field and that energy, and it's a low frequency, guess what else we're attracting? consistently, right? Because it has to be in agreement and in harmony. So it's like, a man, why am I always with these type of people? Or why is it always this? Or why is it always that? Or this always thing that we really don't like? Then what? We have to go back. We have to go within, and we have to have our own, that alignment where we're consistent or in harmony with ourselves. Our body language is in harmony with our verbiage. And not only that, but that whole let me move this out the way. When we talk about that messaging, that the we can go even deeper. We could talk about chakras. We could talk about, all of those things, but I'm not going to talk about that like right now, because even though this is an hour of power, I do not intend to really be on here for an hour. It's more so like 20 minutes. But yeah, just aligning ourselves within in order to get that consistency where the message is consistent, right? And then I'm going to even take this as when we touch a little bit on, business, being consistent in our business. Let's talk about that. I shared, hold on, let me get a little wet my whistle. I shared something the other day about, what was that yesterday? About our principles, right? Like, what are your principles? Well, mine being spirit, self, family, and business. Okay. And in that order. So that's like a square. When we always talk about, stand on your square, stand on your square. Spirit, self, family, business. Okay. Principles. And then making sure that you have vision, a vision statement, a mission statement, and knowing what your purpose is. Okay. Having that purpose. And you have these things written down. And it might take a little bit of time to really craft. And it may take a while before you really feel one with it, with your vision, with the mission, with the purpose, you know. And that way, when you have that and you have those principles, when you begin to, like, say, go out there as far as business is concerned, because there's many opportunities, right? There's many business opportunities. Does it align with your personal? And I say personal, but it's more so, even for me, it's not even my own, so to speak. Um, it's not even my own vision, right? Like, I had one, and then when I got this message, like, I have something for you to do, it's like, whoa. So now I'm following the vision and mission and the purpose that was already planned for me, that I had no clue. Right? I had no clue, but now I do. Um, when you have that, and it took some time for me to craft my own, to where I really felt, I felt it. I'm like, this resonates. This is, it's in my heart. It's a consistent message. So then when something comes up, when something comes about, when an opportunity presents itself, then I know if it's an opportunity for me or not, right? My vision, mission, purpose, why, all of these things, it has to do with education. It has to do with education. And although I mean I never really like set out to be an educator or anything like that, but I come from a family of educators. Let's talk about my mom and my dad, right? My father, wisdom. I mean, he's a Sagittarius. That's just a Sagittarian attribute, you know, and highly evolved. Sagittarius can have a lot of wisdom. Not so evolved can be reckless, right? But either way, they have a lot of experiences that they can share, right? That they can learn from, but then also share with others just that wisdom. And that was my dad. And he was a coach, right? Master chess coach, you know, but coach basketball, master chess coach was his passion. He taught himself how to play chess. Very strategic thinker. Um, and just having that and having that mind, I used to sit there and watch him play against himself, right? So he competed against himself all the time. I didn't realize how that really transferred into me, where it's like my competition is me. I want to be the better than I was yesterday, right? And then the coaching part, it's natural because that was my father, right? Then my mother, educator, okay? Educator, you know, English major, taught English. Look, she could teach anything because she just has that, right? Teaching is a gift. It's in the scriptures. Like teaching is a gift, prophecy is a gift, administration, it's a gift, healing, it's a gift. These are gifts. So teaching was a gift for her. Educator, like I said, she could teach anything. And then just coming from a family of educators, marrying an educator, and that's just my environment. So when I was brought from something that I wanted to set out to do to what I'm doing now, the first after it was like, okay, I have something, this Holy Spirit speaking, I have something for you to do and you can't do it behind this chair. And I'm sitting up there like, okay, what is it, Willis? And what do I mean behind this chair? Because I was a licensed cosmetologist for 20 years, right? And I was pulled right up out of there, kicking and screaming, to be exact, because I love doing hair and I got the skill set and the money was good. But the Holy Spirit was like, oh, I got something else for you to do. And then when I was given what to do, it was homeschool. And I'm like, whoa, I am not qualified to do that. But what do we always say? You know, the Heavenly Father doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the call. I didn't realize what I had in me as far as being able to teach. That was just a gift that was obviously ran through both sides of my family. So, right? So with that, hold on one second. Because look, I don't have time to be losing voices. I don't have time to be losing voices and stuff. So with that came different things that would come up, you know, being called to homeschooling, being very passionate about it, being passionate about education, seeing where the holes were, seeing that, excuse me, a lot of lies were being taught. And it's like people are going and we sending our children and you know all of these things and a lot of miseducation uh and just straight up lies being taught. And I'm like, no, we got to do something about this. And in my homeschool, we're going to learn the truth, but we're also going to learn the lies as well so that you know the lies from the truth and you know how to discern. right? And you know how to think. We're not going to teach you what to think. We're going to teach you how to think so you can be independent thinkers and think for yourself. Okay? Education. So when different opportunities would come up, you know, hey, you do this, or hey, you do that, or hey, I have this opportunity for this. Hey, I have that opportunity for that. If it did not align with my vision that I had written down, the mission that I had written down, the purpose that I was given, right? The why, because look, children will grow up to be adults. Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he would not depart from it, right? If it was taking away from that, then no thank you. That opportunity is not for me. It's not in alignment, or it's not consistent with the messaging. It's not consistent with what I stand for. What does it say in here? To stand together. The root word of consistent or consistency is consist. And that means to stand together in agreement, be in harmony with. Okay. So if I'm aligned, right, and what I'm actually doing every single day is in alignment with, and like I said in the scriptures too, and Deuteronomy, I think it's about chapter 6, and wake up, and when you know, teach these to your children, when right, when you're lying down, when you're waking up, when you're walking by the way, when you sit down by the wayside, when you do this, that's all the time. Like, you're never letting up from teaching. That's what you'll do every single, as long as you're breathing, right? Teaching. So if these other things or these opportunities or whatever is not consistent with this, it's not it, right? So when we show up, is it really with what you're doing every day? Is it consistent with you, right? What we're doing now, what I'm doing now, being a founding member of XtreamFX Global Academy. Well, guess what? Why did I go this way? Well, because there's consistency and educators. It's in perfect harmony, in perfect alignment, what was already being done. Financial literacy was huge for me, right? For me and my homeschool curriculum. And someone, like a couple of years ago, someone knew that. And so they knew to come to me with this and say, hey, I know you're big on financial literacy and homeschooling with your children. I have something to show you that will work very well with your homeschooling. Okay, let me check it out. Right? Let me check it out. Right? Now, that particular company and group or culture or whatever wasn't for me. However, that opportunity was, and when it was time to, right, with the right people, in the right place, in the right time, guess what? It came back around and I was ready. I was ready. The consistency, the messaging, the people, right? The community, all of that must be in alignment. But if I wasn't ready, right? What they say, opportunity meets preparation. I was already prepared, right? When the opportunity came, and very consistent in the messaging. Never let up, never quit. Many opportunities came around. Wonderful, but that's not my opportunity. Just like when we're sharing this with others, others may have a different purpose, a different mission, a different message, and this doesn't align with their vision, their mission, their purpose. Consistency. So How are you consistent? How are you consistent? Right? So take these things, sit down with them, right? Do some self check, some self inventory, okay? And craft that messaging for yourself. Again, your vision, mission, purpose, and like it was said earlier too on our morning motivation call, that you're so welcome to attend every day, really every day, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern. We talked about that thing today. You find your how in your why. I had a why. I didn't know how, but my consistent message was there, and the why was there, and the how appeared. And I was ready to rock and roll when it came. So, again, how do you show up? How do you show up consistent? All right. So, oh, look, I got something out of what I just look. I got to write that down. I got to write some stuff down in my book. I'm like, let me go. Let me let me take some notes. And look, listen to yourself, right? Listen, because it's not you that's even speaking. Okay, it's not you that's even speaking. At least some of the times, at least. So look, I invite you to my hyper launch that is at about 30 minutes at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time, 5 Eastern, where I'm going to be sharing all about what I'm talking about at this end, about this opportunity as a founding member of XtreamFX Global Academy, where Bitcoin and Forex collides. And so look, if your consistent messaging, okay, where you're passionate about education, you're passionate about truth, right? You're passionate about financial literacy, passionate about personal development, you want to be your best self, and you want to have your finances to match, then listen, I invite you over to the hyper launch again, that starts in about 30 minutes, right? 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. And you can look right down in that comment section where I will put the information in order for you to come on and join in. It's not even long, about 15 minutes tops. And that's 5 minutes for some Q&A. All right. So you guys take care. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in about 30 minutes. And then I'll also see you again tomorrow at the same time, right? Like we say, same bat time, same bat channel. Because look, we're showing up consistent. So you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.